So now we continue our discussion on genetic disorders, and now we'll deal with chromosomal disorders. So just to give a brief background, so remember your normal karyotype, your human somatic cells have 46 chromosomes. You have 22 pairs of chromosomes and 2 sex chromosomes. The best tool of our cytogeneticist is your karyotyping, which is what you see in this diagram. And that allows us to examine the chromosomes. So the basic procedure is that you get the cells from your patient, and then you arrest the dividing cells in metaphase using N-acetyl N-methylcolchicine, also known as colcimid. And then you stain the chromosomal bands using Giemsa stain. Kaya ang tawag is G-banding, yung mga lines na nakikita nyo dito. And then, it's simply a matter of arranging it para you can have, para ma-display mo lahat ng mga pairs mo properly. And your X and Y chromosomes if your patient is a male or a female. So, in this lecture, you'll be encountering a lot of these cytogenetic terminology. So, paano nyo siya maintindihan, yung terminology na yon? Your karyotype will contain the following information: the total number of chromosomes plus the sex chromosome complement and the description of your abnormality. So for example, in a disease called trisomy 21, which you will be encountering later, the karyotype of your patient could appear as follows: 47 XY 21. The 47 means dito is your total number of chromosomes. XY, which is the sex chromosome complement. So, alam mo na male ito. Tapos nun, plus 21, that is the description of your abnormality. So, ibig sabihin dito, may you have an extra chromosome in chromosome 21. Now, this one, medyo simple pa to. But in some cases, you will be seeing yung P and Q. Your P just means the petite or short arm, which is this part, yung short arm. And the Q is your long arm. Ito siya. Each arm is then subdivided into different regions, bands, and subbands. So, for example, if you see XP21.2, it just means na X, meaning nasa chromosome X ka, P, so nasa short arm ka ng chromosome, region 2, band 1, and then subband 1. So, now we discuss the structural abnormalities of chromosomes. They may take the form of abnormal numbers of chromosomes, such as your trisomies or monosomies, or alteration in the structure of one or more chromosomes. So, normally, what you should have is a euploid chromosome. Euploid ang number mo, which means exact multiple of the haploid number of chromosomes, or 23. So, 23 pairs, so 46 ka. If aneuploid naman, meron kang aneuploidy, baka narinig yung term na yun previously, your chromosome complements are not exact multiples of 23. So, bakit dyan? You have two sources of errors dito. Either may errors ka in gametogenesis or errors in post-fertilization. For errors in gametogenesis, kasama dyan is your non-disjunction and anaphase lag. In non-disjunction, you have failure of homologous chromosomes or sister chromatids to separate during cell division. So you end up with one cell having one extra chromosome, or so N plus 1 siya, and you have one less chromosome, N minus 1. So after fertilization, you will have a trisomic cell, 2N plus 1, and the monosomic cell, 2N minus 1. Another error is your anaphase lag, in which one homologous chromosome or one chromatid is left out of the cell nucleus during meiosis or mitosis respectively. So you end up with having one normal cell and one cell with monosomy. Now, if there is a monosomy in your autosomes, what will happen is you have too much genetic information loss to permit live birth. Kaya meron kang spontaneous abortion. Ang marami dito, if they were able even to survive birth, they are severely handicapped infants with the exception of your trisomy 21. What about mosaicism? So this is an error usually that occurs post-fertilization. This just means that you have two or more populations of cells with different chromosomal complement. What happens is you have a mitotic error during cleavage of the fertilized ovum or in somatic cells. Example, 45X, 47 triple X na mosaic. So, ibig sabihin nito, once meron kang isang cell population na may triploid sex chromosome, tapos meron kang isang population na 1 lang yung sex chromosome mo. Again, pag autosomal naman ang mosaicism mo, that is less common. A non-viable mosaic is produced but can get lost in embryogenesis. So, ganun din siya dito sa concept natin in monosomies, in autosome. You end up with having non-viable mosaic. So, it gets lost during embryogenesis na pwede silang mamatay early on in life. So, now we go, so kanina, we were talking about numbers. This time, we talk about structural abnormalities talaga. Yung actual structure ng chromosome may problema. Pag deletion, you will have a loss of a portion of your chromosome, just as what you see here. In a ring chromosome, that is a special form of deletion involving a fusion of damaged ends. So, ang mangyayari, this red part gets cleaved off, then ito, yung purple and yung yellow, magmo-merge together. And that becomes a ring. Ang problem dito, these usually end up with serious consequences. Inversions, you have two breaks within a single chromosome with the incorporation of the inverted. It can either be paracentric or pericentric. Pag paracentric, involves only one arm of the chromosome. So, for example, kung dito, nasa long arm yung problema mo, it retains dito sa long arm after inversion. Pag pericentric naman, involves both arms of the chromosome. So, literally, nag-i-invert siya. Kung titingnan mo, yung red na to, from here dito sa right, dito na nga siya ngayon sa left. For isochromosomes, one arm of the chromosome is lost and the remaining gets duplicated. So, parang natatarangkate siya dito sa central part. So, you end up with isang arm na dalawang short, tapos isa na dalawang long. For translocation, one segment of the chromosome is transferred to another. Ang dalawang types to. You can have a balanced reciprocal. It means na you have single breaks in each of two chromosomes. And you have the Robertsonian translocation, in which the translocation between two acrocentric chromosomes and the breaks are close to the centromere. So, kung titingnan nyo yung diagram dito, this one, balanced reciprocal, itong part na to napunta dito, ito napunta dito. In the Robertsonian, you will end up with one short and isang chromosome na parehong short, tapos isa naman na parehong long. Tapos ang short na yan, pwedeng mawala yan easily. Now, what are the specific disorders involving your autosome? So, ang ating prototype diseases would be your trisomies, 21, 18, 13, and then your chromosome 22, Q11.2 deletion syndrome. So, ito yung pinaka-common na makikita natin dito. Trisomy 21, also known as Down syndrome. It's the most common chromosomal disorder. It is a major cause of mental retardation. The IQ of your patients range from 25 to 50. And it's due to meiotic non-disjunction. So, anong nangyayari? Normal ang parents mo, pero your children will be affected since sa meiosis nangyayari yung disorder natin. It is strongly influenced by maternal age. So, 1 in 25 it is seen in 1 in 25 live births if mom is over 45 years old. The extra chromosome is maternal in origin and it's located in the ovum. This is why na yung mga OB-GYN natin, they have this what they call parang elderly primigravid kasi or elderly na buntes. Kasi we know that pag advance ng age ng women, mas likely na magkaroon sila ng mga conditions such as, yung anak nila magkaroon ng conditions such as Down syndrome. So right now, in Robbins it says 45 years old. In practice, when I was an intern, it was 35 years old, 35 years old considered elderly. Pero right now, binaba na ng mga OB-GYN nito around 32 years old. So, above 32 years old, elderly na ang considered sa'yo na primigravid. 95% of cases is due to a true trisomy 21 via meiotic non-disjunction. 4% of cases is via a Robertsonian translocation. So, it's a familial in origin. Then 1% is mosaic and may have mild phenotypic changes. So, what are your diagnostic clinical features? You have your flat facial profile, oblique palpebral fissures, and epicanthic folds evident upon birth. Tapos, 40% of these patients will have a congenital heart disease in the form of endocardial cushion abnormalities, atrial septal defect, ventricular septal defect, and valvular malformations. Acute leukemia, medyo mataas ang risk for developing, around 10 to 20-fold risk. Makikita nyo in patients will be acute lymphocytic leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia, and acute megaloblastic leukemia. Uropathologic changes are also seen in patients that are more than 40 years old. They have a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. And patients may also have abnormal immune responses, which makes them predisposed to serious infections. So how do you diagnose? You use a FISH method with chromosome 21 specific probes. So dito sa diagram na to, your chromosome 13 is in green, and chromosome 21 is in red. So, since may tatlong dots ka dito na red, tatlo ang copies niya ng chromosome 21. This is the faster way of diagnosing this. Pero, syempre, the classical method is still via your karyotyping. So, as you can see here, this is your baby. Tapos, ito yung kanilang mga phenotypic manifestations. Ang common dyan, yung epicanthic folds, flat facial profile, abundant neck skin. Simian creases can also be seen. So what does this mean? If you're going to take a look at your palms right now, that simian crease is just one horizontal line traversing your palm. Ganun ang simian crease. Normally kasi dapat dalawa yan na creases. So as you can see here, may congenital heart disease. You may see intestinal stenosis, predisposed to leukemia, possibly mayroong hypotonia of the legs. And in Robbins also, they list down kung ano yung mga common types atin of common karyotypes. So the usual is your 47XX plus 21 or 47XY plus 21 kung male. Translocation type, kung ito yung likely na karyotype natin dyan. And then you have your mosaic. So remember in mosaic, you have a proportion of cells that are normal karyotype. Then you have another proportion of cells na that has the abnormal karyotype. And when you do the karyotyping over here, as you can see, it is here, trisomy 21. Next is, for trisomy 18 and 13, medyo overview na lang ng clinical features kasi medyo same naman sila with your trisomy 21 halos, pero with different, meron lang slight differences in manifestation. So, ganoon pa rin ang risk factor, increase in maternal age, majority is due to meiotic non-disjunction, much like your Downs. Features niya, dito lang medyo nagkakaiba. You will have a prominent occiput and microcephaly, so pwedeng maliit yung brain. And because maliit ang brain, it may cause mental retardation in your patients. You have micrognathia, low-set ears, short neck, overlapping fingers dito, hip abduction, and rocker bottom feet. So, yung rocker bottom feet, parang naka-extend talaga yung feet nila. Tapos, parang nakakita na kayo ng rocking chair. Ganun ang paa nila. Tapos nun, you have your heart defects over here. Renal malformations such as your horseshoe kidney are also seen in these patients. And they rarely survive beyond 1 year. For Patau syndrome or trisomy 13, ganun din, meiotic non-disjunction, medyo not compatible with life. Kung magsasurvive man sila, they will have early deaths. So, ganun din, microcephaly, mental retardation, cleft lip and palate, polydactyly, so you have 6 fingers over here, cardiac defects, rocker bottom feet, renal defects, umbilical hernia as well. So these are the karyotypes of those two previous conditions and this one. If we're going to check nasan ang defect, it's over here. 3 copies of chromosome 18. So this one is trisomy 18. And this one, if wala lang numbers dito, pero this is trisomy 13 over here. Ito yung kanya. Yung 3 copies of chromosome 13. So the next one is your chromosome 22 Q11.2 syndrome, deletion syndrome. So from the name itself, obvious na kung anong problem. Meron kang deletion at this part of your chromosome 22, the Q long arm, region 1, band 1, sub band 2. You have variable clinical features, congenital heart defects, abnormalities of the palate, facial dysmorphism, developmental delays, T-cell immunodeficiency, and hypocalcemia. Now, it has 2 distinct manifestations. One is the George syndrome. The other one is your velocardiofacial syndrome. In the George syndrome, ang pinaka-hallmark niya would be thymic hypoplasia causing T-cell immunodeficiency. You have parathyroid hypoplasia causing hypocalcemia. And you will have cardiac malformations, atopic disorders, and autoimmunity as well. For velocardiofacial syndrome, more of yung facial features ang damage ito, more than the thymic hypoplasia. So, you have facial dysmorphism, cleft palate, cardiovascular anomalies, and learning disabilities. For both of these conditions, they have a high risk for the formation of your psychotic illnesses such as your schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and ADHD. Diagnosis, detection of the deletion via FISH. So this time, you're trying to look for loss of signal. So ito yung isang patient. This is typical facial appearance of a patient with velocardiofacial syndrome. Note the broad nose, epicanthal folds over here, a small chin, downward mouth angle, and the prominent ear. Now, ang isa sa mga tinuturo namin, isang madaling mnemonic would be Catch-22. So actually, in some literature, it's actually called Catch-22 syndrome because of what catch means. It means meron kang cardiac abnormality, abnormal fascies, thymic aplasia, cleft palate, and hypocalcemia. And if you do your karyotyping, ito siya. Chromosome 20, chromosome 15 over here. Ito yung deletion niya. Yeah. So, when you check naman sa 22, may nawawala sa kanya. Okay? Deletion ka. Next would be cytogenetic disorders involving sex chromosomes. So these are common and better tolerated than some of your autosomal aberrations. Now, before we delve into this, what are peculiar characteristics of your sex chromosomes? So number 1, you have the concept of lionization via the Lion hypothesis over here. Ang basic gist nito is that you are inactivating all but one X chromosome. So, even if you have multiple excess na copies of the X chromosome, isa lang doon yung talagang gumagana. Okay? The rest, inactivated sila. And then, you have a modest amount of genetic material carried by your Y chromosomes. So, what is the Lion hypothesis? This was formulated by Mary Lyon in 1961, and it just says na only one of the X chromosomes is genetically active. Other X of the either maternal or paternal origin undergoes heteropycnosis. You call that a bar body. We'll see that later. The inactivation of either the maternal or paternal X occurs at random at day 5.5 of embryonic life. And then, the inactivation of the same X chromosome persists in all of the cells derived from each precursor cell. So, in other words, isa lang ang X na gumagana. Okay? So, how does this how do you see this? So, katulad nito, may random inactivation ka ng X chromosome mo dito. The X that gets inactivated undergoes heteropycnosis. So, ang matawag doon is your bar body. So, when you see the human nucleus, you will see parang, and if you use a special stain, makikita mo ngayon yung parang darkened area at the edge of the cell. That is your bar body. Okay. What else? So remember that your single Y chromosome determines the male sex. That because of the gene called the SRY. SRY stands for sex determining region Y gene. So ibig sabihin, if you have the Y gene, automatic na magpo-proceed dapat to male ang pasyente mo. And any Y chromosome deletions are associated with a zoospermia. So pag meron kang mutation dun sa Y chromosome, it is likely that your patients will become infertile. So they don't get to pass on the Y-linked abnormalities. What are the features in sex chromosome disorders? It causes subtle chronic problems related to sexual development and fertility. They are very difficult to diagnose at birth. Kasi you will have near normal genitalia, tapos marirecognize mo na lang ang issues during puberty because that is when you expect your secondary sexual characteristics to arise, tapos hindi siya nagmamanifest. Also, if you have the greater number of X chromosomes, the greater likelihood of mental retardation. So, pwedeng, like, in certain conditions like Klinefelter, you can have multiple copies of X doon. Only one gets activated, pero dahil mas marami kang X na nandun, likely na magkakaroon siya ng mental retardation. So, in here, you have two prototype conditions, your Klinefelter syndrome and your Turner syndrome. In Klinefelter, it is one of the most frequent forms of sex chromosome disorders, and this is the most common cause of hypogonadism in males, in which your karyotype will have 2 or more X chromosomes and 1 or more Y chromosomes. So, these again are diagnosed during puberty. Clinical features would include an elongated body, eunuchoid body habitus with long legs. You will have small atrophic testes, small penis, lack of secondary male characteristics, gynecomastia. Your patients will have a lower IQ, increased FSH and estradiol, mitral valve prolapse, osteoporosis, and most importantly, decrease in testosterone levels nila. And consistent on patients with Klinefelter syndrome, hypogonadism. So this is an important genetic cause of reduced spermatogenesis and male infertility. It will, histologically, it will appear, your patients will have atrophic testicular tubules and prominent Leydig cells. For these patients, they have a higher risk of developing breast CA, extragonadal germ cell tumors, autoimmune diseases, and majority, ang pinakamaraming, ang most common karyotype would be your 47XXY. Okay? So, remember, at least 2 copies of X and 1 copy of Y in your patients. This is, again, due to meiotic non-disjunction. Walang difference if the X comes from the mother or the father. One of them just gets inactivated due to the, again, that is due to the Halayan hypothesis. Your mosaic patterns can happen. So, pag mosaic, expect nyo na lighter ang manifestation sa patient ninyo. If at least nag-end up na isang portion of the cellular population will have the normal karyotype. Okay? So, ang sabi pa nila, what other readings have also suggested that pag mas marami ang Y chromosome copy na na-inherit ng bata, the more nagiging aggressive yung bata. It manifests with more aggressive behavior. So this is a patient with Klinefelter syndrome. So when you say eunuchoid habitus, it comes from the word eunuch. So if you're going to remember your history, those are attendants that were castrated back in China. So ganun din, parang kang relative hypogonadal state sa mga ganung conditions. So maliliit ang testis nila, tapos nun parang na-feminize yung lalaki ng konti. Okay? So, you will have wala kang frontal baldness, poor beard growth. Although with Asians naman talaga in general, medyo poor naman ang beard growth talaga. You will have narrow shoulders, you will have breast development, meron kang female type pubic hair pattern, small testicular size most importantly, and long arms and legs. And when you do your karyotype, you can see it here, 2 copies of X, 1 copy of Y. The alternative for females naman is Turner syndrome. So this comes from complete or partial monosomy of your X chromosome. So you have hypogonadism in your females. The most common sex chromosome abnormality, this is the most common sex chromosome abnormality in your females. And again, majority of the karyotype would be 45X. Or in some books, they use 45X0 kasi mas kita na ang karyotype mo is abnormal. Other types of abnormalities, may partial monosomy of the X chromosome or mosaic as well. And 5 to 10%, you have a Y chromosome sequence. So instead na X0, it's 0Y. Ganun ang manifestation sa kanila. But that is incredibly rare. So what are your features? There is a swelling of the nape of the neck, also known as cystic hygroma, bilateral neck webbing, congenital heart disease, 25 to 50%, a very important cause of mortality. You have absent secondary sexual characteristics, short stature, normal IQ, and this is the most important cause of primary amenorrhea. So for those going to be OB-GYN, please remember this. Okay? If your patient is merong primary amenorrhea, consider Turner syndrome. Other findings would include autoantibodies to thyroid antibodies, glucose intolerance, obesity, and insulin resistance. And if you see your karyotype over here, ito yung abnormality natin. X, tapos nun, is either isang copy lang ng X talaga, or absent ang Y mo. So, X0 ang kanilang manifestation. Okay? So, ito na yung summary kay Robbins. It's a very good diagram. Short stature, webbing of the neck, pwede kang may mass dito, also known as your cystic hygroma. Broad chest, widely spaced nipples, streak ovaries, infertility, and most important dito, amenorrhea. Now, you will encounter cases like this in the clinics. It's very important to make a distinction between hermaphroditism and pseudohermaphroditism. Okay, so when you are asked of genetic sex, it just means the presence or absence of the Y chromosome. Remember that the Y chromosome dictates testicular development because of that gene, the SRY gene. The gonadal sex is based on the histologic characteristics of the gonad. So, pag nag-biopsy ka, anong makikita mo? Mukha bang ovary ang gonads mo? Or mukhang testes? For ductal sex, depends on the presence of derivatives of the Mullerian or Wolffian ducts. Phenotypic or genital sex is based on the appearance of their external genitalia. So, what is a true hermaphrodite? A true hermaphrodite should contain both ovarian and testicular tissue. So, it really can happen, okay? Next would be, what is a pseudohermaphrodite? A pseudohermaphrodite is when you have a disagreement between the phenotypic and your gonadal sex. So, for example, a female pseudohermaphrodite, meron siyang ovaries. Yes, histologic na meron siyang ovaries. Pero, male ang kanyang external genitalia. So, meron siyang penis, scrotum, mukhang may testis, etc. A female pseudohermaphrodite naman, you have testicular tissue. So, you should see yung mga seminiferous tubules. Pero, female ang external genitalia ng patient mo. So, wala kang penis, but instead, meron kang what looks like a labia and the vagina. And that would be all for your chromosomal abnormalities. Next, we'll be discussing single gene disorders with non-classic inheritance.